Welcome. In this section, we would summarize Yojana for the month of October. Now, this edition talks about mainly the diversity, zoological diversity. So, zoological diversity, if we see, India is divided into 10 biogeographic zones according to the Zoological Survey of India, and the number of species across these zones have been mentioned. I won't explain it here because those would be available in the handouts. You can just check those. And there are various species of marine species, freshwater species from estuaries, mangroves, and there is a huge number of biodiversity that exists as well. Now, if we talk about flora, which is, we talked about flora, now talking about the fauna, there are nearly 5.7 million species, many of them are identified and geotagged, and many of them animal species are also present. There is a geospatial repository which is also available in India. There are various discoveries which have been done recently, which talks about the various projects. One such interesting project is the LTEO, which is a long-term ecological observatories. Now, these monitor the arthropods and have been funded by the Ministry of Environment and Forest along with climate change. Now, there are various surveys for feasibility assessment, long-term monitoring. Again, coral reefs are an important aspect. So, Government of Gujarat along with World Bank and ICZM have been working to protect the degraded reefs, and there was again a question on the technology to artificially grow the corals, which was asked in your prelims. So again, an important topic for this time. It was asked in 2021 as well. So biorock technology is what we had discussed in the separate video. Now, the impact of forest fires in Northeast India. So how to predict the fire areas, the contribution of wildlife. There are various explorations. For example, exploration in the Himalayan glacier areas, the desertification, how is the mineral endowments, the various thirst areas. For example, one is the baseline geoscience data generation. Now, under the National Mineral Exploration Policy, the idea is understanding the geoscience data and identifying the area. So GSI has mapped nearly 99% of the country on the scale of 1:50,000 and has identified the target areas in the sites for natural resources and where geological problems actually exist, where mining can be done and where not. Another important is the RV Samudra Ratnakar, which is one of the coastal vessels, which we would understand into more detail as we proceed forward. The next part of the same mission of mineral exploration is natural resource assessment. It helps us assess the various resources like tungsten, nickel, lithium, cobalt. There are regional mineral targeting projects which have been introduced where there are large areas with integrated approach. The third important section of it is geoinformatics. Geoinformatics talks about the stakeholders like Bhukosh, which focuses on the geospatial portal and the policies related to it. The fourth mission talks about the multidisciplinary aspects, which focus on the land site susceptibility, the rainfall thresholds, the earthquake and the related parameters, the navigation system, so GNSS, which is the Global Navigation Satellite System, focusing on the crustal movements also is important. The next is Jal Satyagraha and the water heroes. Now, there have been various canals, inundated and perennial, which have been excavated from the 19th century. Nizam Sagar is one of the oldest dam which is built on Manjira river, which is a tributary to Godavari. Then there are various water related projects and Jal Satyagraha for the same. Some of those, one of the most important among those is the Koya Revolt. Now, the Koya Revolt and the basis for the Koya Revolt, which was under the leadership of Tamanna Dora, is important, and this synchronized with civil disobedience and non-cooperation movement. There were various water services under various scholars. So Vishweshwarya was one of the important role leaders who, after the floods on the Musi in Hyderabad, actually prepared a flood protection plan for Hyderabad. Similarly, he built a dam on Khadagwasla near Pune. There were various projects. For example, the Bhakra Dam project was given by Khosla from the Thompson Engineering College, and he also developed the Timu Barrage at the Chenab River. Similarly, Kuwar Sen Gupta is known as the father of Indira Gandhi Canal. So numerous engineers have been part of the dam building and the protection for the same. The next is the water structure. So Sheshadri Iyer was the first for creating the first HEB project in Asia at Shivasundaram in Mandya district in Karnataka. Mulsi Dam on Mula River was another important dam which was created in Kerala at Pallivas. This was another dam which was created by Maharaja Chitra Tirunallur Verma. Water governance is another important aspect. Soni Yojana is an integral part of it. Soni Yojana and its new phases we have covered in a separate video, extremely important. So there have been various efforts for those, and case study of Gujarat has been discussed here. Now wherever you have question on water scarcity, Jal Satyagraha, like this case study of Gujarat, you can include a similar case study in your answer writing. So how there were repeated periods of droughts and water scarcity in the region of Kutch, and during the late 90s there were various communities like Maldahari who moved to the region with their livestock, and during this period there were statewide administration for conservation of water projects and creation of water pipelines over a long period in the regions of North Gujarat, Saurashtra and Kutch to meet the problems. The next most important thing that was discussed is the nationalist movements and the Bhakti movement. So Bankim Chandra Chatterjee wrote the song Vande Mataram in the novel Anandamath. Vande Mataram was the only slogan during the time of partition of Bengal. Then there was rise of nationalist sentiments around the Chaitra Mela in 1867. There were various proposals for Bengali novels which came into line. Bhakti cult actually was again important, which brought in revolutionary ideas during the independence movement. So there were two basic models of struggle in the Bengal. One actually was the idea which was revolutionary attempts in Bengal, and this was building the idea of the temple of Bhavani, and this was an imitation of the Anandamath, which was a brainchild of Devarath Babu and his revolutionary, as he is called as revolutionary Devarath Babu. There were another notion which talked about the Agni Yug, which was the changes which was brought under the Hemchandra Kanungo, and this was writing the alternate history with the model of national salvation. There was another important aspect of which we talk about is safeguarding the oceans. Now here we would also talk about the RV Samundram again. So 2/3 of the region is covered by water, oceans. That water is not drinkable, but definitely has numerous traces of materials, for example zinc, cobalt, manganese, which are present. So Samudran mission talks about automatic manned submarine vehicles which can carry 3 people to a depth of 6,000 meter with various equipment for deep sea exploration. Government of India's vision for 2030 of blue economy has been constituted, and this deep ocean mission talks about discovering 95% of the ocean deep. 30% of the human population lives on the coastal area, and sea is one of the primary source of livelihood. There are 6 important components which are mentioned here as part of the deep ocean mission, and this mainly talk about exploration, energy, marine center, innovations, climate change in the ocean, and talking about technologies for deep sea mining. If we talk about the levels of the ocean, the area where sunlight can go up to 200 meters is the epipelagic. The next is the mesopelagic, where fireflies can be seen, but moreover darkness prevails. And then the last part is the bathypelagic, which is the bottommost part, where there are numerous creatures which are found despite of the adverse situations, but the average temperature here remains at 4 degrees Celsius, and organisms here have bioluminescence because the light is not present over this area. The next is the abyssal zone. It is also known as the ocean womb. Here it is complete dark and only few creatures can survive here. One of the vessels from Indian Ocean exploration is RV Sindhu Sadhana, and this has been a brainchild of the National Institute of Oceanography at Goa, which is one of the premier institutes of CSIR, and it conducts research in the field of oceanography. This project has been working in the regions of Indian Ocean with 23 scientists explaining and understanding the marine organisms, the trace metals, and enabling another second vessel which is in the name of Sagar Shakti, along with Sindhu Sadhana, which would be another important aspect for ocean discoveries. Now, ocean have been considered as biological paradise. Andaman Nicobar itself has nearly 800 plus islands and small outgrowths, and this region has been once part of Asian landmass and then got disconnected nearly 100 million years ago at the Mesozoic period. Now, this habitat has unique features of coral reefs, mangroves, dense forests which are present, which are extremely preserved, and some of the species which are present here have been mentioned. In the west, we have Gujarat. Cactus Garden at the Statue of Unity is one such grand architectural greenhouse which has been artificially created with more than 450 species of cactus. Ramsar sites in the regions of Nal Sarovar, Thol near Ahmedabad, Khadija near Jamnagar, and Vadhwana near Vadodara have been created. There is Gujarat Ecological Education and Research Foundation working for environmental preservation, ecological history and natural history. Then there are central laboratories at Mandvi, Jamnagar, Surat, Mangrol and Bhavnagar under the ICZM project, which is the Coastal Zone Management Project. Indigenous bioresources of Northeast region are again important. There are various important species that are protected in the Northeast across and through the tributaries of Brahmaputra. Stevia is one of the plant which actually is given to patients which have high diabetes and is a natural sweetener. It is also present, it's a low calorie sweetener in the leaves of the Astraceae family found in Northeast. Tea plant, which are evergreen, are found here. Neem plant, commonly seen in this region, again has medicinal properties. So there are various medicinal plants. Lantana is another such important plant which has pharmacological importance for cancer activities and cancer cells and treatment. Then you have Spelinthes, which again belongs to the Astraceae family, similar to the Stevia, and the leaves are used for antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, local anesthesia. Tinospora is immunodilator, hepatoprotective, that is good for liver, is anti-hypertensive and antioxidant. Then there are various food production crops. For example, Musa balbensia, which is commonly the banana species. The various varieties of banana, 20 different varieties are seen in Assam. Ozera sativa in the regions of Northeast. Black rice has gained importance because of nutrition, antioxidants and the dark purple pigmentation which is anthocyanin in this. The next is green telecommunication. Now in India, with 5G technology, we are saying that we would be accelerating the reduction in the emissions of greenhouse gases and carbon with the launch of 5G technology, and the future of 5G is improving nearly 4G technology and the LTE technology by 20 times. There is reduction in the energy. Moving towards a renewable energy is another goal. So there are various new approaches to eliminate the waste energies, which includes dynamic spectrum sharing, use of AI, machine learning, self-organizing networks, end-to-end intelligent power systems to be created which could actually reduce the coordinate with the base station, the supply station and the backhaul units, and moving towards renewable sources of energy. India as of now is 4th in wind, 5th in solar and 4th in renewable power, and therefore there is immense capacity to develop those aspects, but there are certain barriers which pertain mainly to technology, cost, lack of consumer awareness and financial and legal requirements which have to be actually taken into account and corrected before we can move for the renewable source as one of the major sustainable source of energy in India. So those were some of the important topics that we have discussed. As I mentioned, case studies of Gujarat, case studies of Northeast region for the diversity of the creatures, the flora and the fauna, and the important medicinal trees which are obtained from Northeast are extremely important from this edition. Again, the coverage on deep ocean mission and the ocean resources are again important topics that you must remember. Extremely important edition this was for your preliminary purpose. The handouts for this would be available on Exam Race study material. So don't forget those. Wish you very good luck. Have a wonderful day ahead.